Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're unpacking a highly specific and honestly absolutely foundational lesson. We are looking at Lesson ID, Language Chinese, HSK, Language Chinese, HSK, Unit 2, Lesson Pack 7, Dialogue Review and Transfer Video Overview, which is formally titled Dialogue Review and Transfer Video Overview. And as we dive into the source material, a totally fascinating secret emerges. You see, fluid Mandarin conversation, it isn't actually about memorizing every single word in the dictionary. It's really about mastering a reusable underlying blueprint.
Okay, let's dive into this highly structured roadmap. First, we'll look at the blueprint, then an evidence check, followed by a misconception check, a rehearsal, and finally a transfer challenge.
All right, Section 1, the blueprint, deconstructing a Mandarin conversation.
So if we take an architectural approach here, we can actually treat a Mandarin dialogue exactly like building a house right from the ground up. Pretty much every everyday conversation maps onto 5 specific, highly reliable structural blocks. You got your opening, a relevant question, a context-appropriate answer, a follow-up, and finally a closing. And this brilliantly illustrates that by viewing interactions through these 5 exact steps, your cognitive overload just drops instantly. You don't have to panic about what to say next because you just look at what block comes next in the blueprint.
Moving right along to Section 2, Evidence Check, Source Examples from the Airport. Now, let's actually take our 5-step theoretical blueprint out into the wild, using a real-world scenario drawn straight from Unit 2 of our source material. So picture this. We have Professor Wang meeting a group of international students at the airport for the very first time. To navigate this exchange, we first have to identify the speaker's purpose. Here, it's all about establishing identity and checking on their well-being after a long flight.
Let's move to the exchange and see how this builds, tracking exactly how Professor Wang and the students hit all 5 functional markers. First up, the opening. Wang La Shi Nin Hao. Hello, Prof. Wang. Next, Professor Wang hits that question block. Ni men hen lei ba? You're probably tired. Then the students fire back with the context-appropriate answer. Bu tai lei, hai hao. No, not too, we're okay. Next is a quick follow-up to keep the ball rolling. Nina and you. And finally, the closing block wraps the whole thing up. Hao, na woman to ba. Fine, so let's go then. Just like that, boom, the house is built.
Which brings us to Section 3, Misconception Check, Literal Translation Fails.
Now, I have to give you a bit of a warning here. This structural blueprint, it will instantly collapse if you fall into one very specific trap, and that is word-for-word English translation. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the phrase the students used for their answer block, hai hao. If you translate that literally, character by character, it means still good. But still good makes absolutely no sense in response to are you tired? That's because Mandarin dialogues are built on functional context. So, in this specific context, the functional meaning is I'm fine or I'm okay, which serves the exact conversational function we need. You literally have to translate the function, not just isolated words.
All right, Section 4, Rehearsal, Pause and Respond.
Okay, let's test this in real time. Imagine someone walks right up to you and initiates the opening and question blocks with a super casual 怎么样? How is it going? I want you to literally pause this explainer right now and say your answer out loud. Try building your own Step 3 context-appropriate answer block before I reveal the options.
Okay, welcome back. So, did you use one of these source-based options? Maybe hai hao for I'm fine, hai xing for I'm okay, or bu kuo for not bad. So the crucial point here is that there isn't just one magic right answer. You have multiple valid options at your disposal, as long as they fit the functional purpose of the blueprint's answer block. Great job on the rehearsal.
Let's step it up. Section 5, the Transfer Challenge, Applying the Blueprint to a New Scenario. Because look, true language mastery isn't just about surviving a trip to the airport, right? It means taking this framework and successfully transferring it to entirely new everyday situations. So let's imagine a scenario from Unit 7. A middle-aged woman you've just met wants to compliment your language abilities. She gives you this glowing statement, 你普通话说得很标准. You speak Mandarin very properly. Now this is effectively the opening and question phase demanding a response. Keeping Chinese cultural modesty in mind, how do you find the context-appropriate deferential answer to fill block number 3?
Well, the perfect fit here is the phrase nali, nali. Literally, sure, it means where, but functionally, it means nah, you're too nice, or I speak rather badly. By deflecting the praise gracefully, it perfectly fills the answer block of our architectural blueprint. As you can see, the structure effortlessly transfers to a totally different social interaction.
And that brings us to Section 6, Conclusion. Review and Transfer Video Overview.
Wow, we've covered a massive amount of ground today, and we did it simply by recognizing patterns instead of just memorizing a textbook of random phrases. We have successfully conquered Lesson ID, Language Chinese HSK, Language Chinese HSK, Unit 2, Lesson Pack 07, Dialogue Review and Transfer Video Overview, Dialogue Review and Transfer Video Overview. So I want to leave you with a thought to chew on. If just 5 simple structural blocks govern these everyday interactions, imagine what kind of complex, advanced conversations you can unlock with just a bit more structural decoding. Keep looking for those blueprints, and we'll catch you in the next explainer.